Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 57 of my story. I had done my first year being incarcerated away from my family, and it was probably like the hardest thing. But I called, I had video visits with them, and I was just grateful, that everybody was happy, and they always told me, "You're always in such good spirits." Like everybody that I talked to, friends, family, they would always be like, "You know what? I just can't believe that you're in a place like that, and you're always so cheerful and upbeat." So for Christmas, you do receive a traditional Christmas meal with all the trimmings. There's turkey, there's ham, there's pork roast, there's sweet potato casserole or yams, there's mashed potatoes, there's I think that's stovetop stuffing because it's definitely not cornbread dressing if you're from the South. Um, there's green beans. There's the whole works. You have cheesecake, sweet potato pie, cookies, soda, and then I was shocked and surprised my first Christmas that they had a traditional meal, and I seen that we had camp officers who were part of food service that were pro inmate too at the camp, and they looked out for us a lot, and they wanted us to have a decent meal even though we were away from home. Eventually my daughter is planning a baby shower, and of course I can't be there, but I want to be there on video visit. With So my daughter is planning this big baby shower, and my family is ready to support her. They've cooked, everybody's planned. They paid for decorators to come in and set all this stuff up, and my daughter wakes up early that morning and her feet touch the ground and her water breaks. Of course she's not full term at this point, and she's taken to the hospital. I get a message, "Hey, um, call your daughter. Her water broke. You're gonna be a grandma this morning." And so I'm nervous. I go to the computer. I contact my daughter, and she's crying so hard when she hears me on the phone. And she's basically telling me how scared she is and how she wishes that I was there. And so I'm pretty much telling her that I'm sorry that I'm not there, but that I love her and I wish the best for her. And I know that she's going to be a good mother and that the baby's going to have the perfect father. And so we communicate 2, 3 times on this day because I'm trying to be in communication with her as much as I can, knowing that I'm not there, but I'm still trying to be there the best way that I could. My daughter eventually delivers this baby, and it's the most beautiful little girl ever. She gives the baby the name that one of the names on the list that I had sent to her. So I'm honored that, she thought enough to name the baby one of the names that I had sent to her. I'm now speaking to my other daughter, and my daughter has told her father that, "Hey, just want to let you know you're a grandpa." And you would think that, he would be excited and happy, but I guess he's just not. He goes on to tell my daughter that he doesn't want to hear about that he disowns my daughter from getting pregnant, and that he's not a grandfather, and that nobody's going to make him a grandfather. And so she's sad telling me this story of how she couldn't believe that he had said that. And I'm basically telling her, your dad is not a rational person. He's very childish. He's childish. He's immature. I don't know how I wasted so much time on him. That he just wants to make her feel bad because he's in a place and his state of mind is all jacked up because he's jacked up and he's jacked up everybody else. And so my daughter's like, basically, we're not going to tell my daughter that he said any of this, and we don't. So this will probably be the first time that she hears anything of that. So I remember around this time, I'm good and settled into the prison life. This is my home now. I expect to be here for some time, and I make the best of it. So in prison, every year at the camp where I was at, they do room moves because they don't want someone to be in a room long enough to be able to dominate that room and take over, because there's a lot of strong personalities when you're in prison. And so I moved into a room, and the only person that I actually know in this room is my prison mom. So I'm happy that I'm in this room with her. And the room is majority Hispanic. It's myself and one other African American female in this room. The other female, no one gets along with, no one likes her. You know, she suffered multiple years of abuse and substance abuse. And this is not her first rodeo. So she pretty much knows the string. She's in and out. In fact, she would leave and come at least 3 times while I was incarcerated in 5 years. Um, I'm on the phone. I hang up this phone one morning. And before I can get to my room, someone is telling me, hey, Bush, you need to get to your room. They've been arguing and fighting all morning. We've been going to the room, knocking on the door, telling them they need to be quiet. So can you go in there and tell your roommates they need to hush? So I walked inside this room, and my prison mom is front and center on the calling this girl on her bed. Like, she's basically pointing at her, telling her, little girl, since you came here, you've been nothing but trouble. I've been nothing but nice to you. I've made sure you've eaten. I've did lots of good things for you. But the girl, she has these big, huge, bulging eyes. So she was definitely suffering from something. So I walk in, me being a person that I am. Normally, I walk away from situations and try my best not to get involved in things because I know how fast things can escalate in prison. I walk over and I'm basically saying, hey, calm down to my prison mom. I'm asking the girl, what's going on? What happened? Same tone, just like this. She looks at me and she says, bitch, I'm not talking to you. Shut up. I'm talking to her. And so, me, I was kind of like, excuse me, you're not going to talk to me like that because I didn't talk to you like that. And I told her, I'm not going to shut up. And if you think you can shut me up, then bitch, get off that bed and shut me up. Just that fast. Things escalated. Next thing you know, she done jumped off this bed and she's charged at me, and I didn't even give her a chance. I just wanted to beating the hell out of her like she was a raggedy dog off the street. I beat her for all the bad things that my kid's father had ever said in that moment. I beat her for all the baby moms that knew about me. I was mad. I was stumping her with my prison steel-toe boots when I was pulled off of her by multiple people. I don't even know. I must have blanked out. So I'm terrified at this point because when you get in a fight in prison, you already know where you're going. You're going to the jail inside of a jail.